I started a bit early because I wanted to make sure that we have a little bit of run-up time before we actually get started. Welcome, guys. Thank you all for joining in today in this very, very special shore leave. Something that we haven't done for a while. It's something that I always enjoy doing. Especially when it's something as unique as this game. The fact that the original was free and I didn't even know that. So we could have done this way, way before Doki Doki Literature Club Plus came out. But yeah. Since this came on Epic, it was a bit hard to ignore all the voices in the Discord going, I have to stream it. So that's why you're playing that. Combuster, thank you for being here. Kev, thank you for being here. Freak, you as well. Hope you're all doing great. I have no high hopes for this game. But I'm sure we'll have some fun either way. For those in the chat, I've made something for you too. Besides the uwu commands that you can spam at your leisure throughout the whole gameplay. By the way, if the music is too loud, please let me know. I can turn it down a little bit. But yeah, we have this. If you look in chat now, there should be a poll that you should be able to pick A, B, C, D. And the whole idea behind that is, I don't necessarily need to pick all the decisions in the game. If we're going for absolute chaos, let's do it right and actually have some extra chaos by adding some options to have you guys vote for what you actually want as the answers to be. I know there's mostly 4 answers. There might be some points where it's not 4 answers. So we'll see how that goes. Somebody already voted D. But yeah, so basically the idea is that you guys get to vote for any decisions made in the game. I will also put my voice in, but the system...
Delicious looking dick from... Sorry about that.
Is that because Freak voted D? Anyway, the system doesn't allow me to use points to add more votes, but I will add 1 vote to the system. But yeah, it's absolute chaos, because you guys can basically outvote me by using your channel points for that. So choose wisely. Sometimes it might not be worth to put in the points. Anyway, we're closing 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock? Yeah, 8 o'clock. We're closing 8 o'clock. And I think it's about time we get started. Any questions before we get into this? 28k points? You should be good with them for the rest of the evening. I even changed what is normally our lovely art room. Right. So there's 2 things I know about Doki Doki Literature Club. Literature. Jesus. It's gonna be fun saying that 15 times today. It's 2 things that I know about Doki Doki. It's about reading club in school, and you take part in that, and that it gets a bit fucked up at some point. That's the 2 things I know about it. I don't know anything about the story, I don't know anything about the characters. I know a little bit about the fucked up stuff that can happen, but nothing that actually connects to the story or anything like that. Doki Doki Dyslexia Club. That's probably me. I have a... For those who don't know, actually, I have a light version of dyslexia, but only in my own language. English, I have less problems with it. It's a grammar-related dyslexia. It's stupid. It held me back in school terribly. Anyway, are we ready? It's 8 o'clock. It's time to start. Hey! Let me see, where should I click? There. Oh, it's I. So I is me. Okay. I see an annoying girl running towards me from a distance, waving her arms in the air like she is totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. The girl is Sayuri, my neighbor, and good friends since we were children. Oh, that's why he knows that she's annoying. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today. But it just kind of worked out because you've known each other for so long. Would I befriend someone like that? Probably I would. There's a great chance this is a small description of how Cuddly can behave sometimes when it's nice. They're cool people. I like them when they're enthusiastic. We used to walk to school together on days like these. But starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase me after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayuri catch up with me. Hi! Or is it ha ha? More than cuddly. Oh god, yes. That's I just remembered some stuff. I overslept again. But I caught you this time. Oh, that sucks. It remembered my name. I had a different name in mind. Can I change the settings? Save game. Load game. Settings. Can't change the name, can I? Yeah, I knew it. Damn it. Oh well. So during testing, I put in a name. I wanted to use the name pt.1 fuzzy bubbles, but it remembered me. Too bad. Maybe, but only because you decided to stop to wait for you. And you say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Fuzzy. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine, fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayuri. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students, making their daily commute. By the way, Fuzzy, have you decided on a club to join yet? I'm actually glad that I didn't go with Fuzzy Poo. Or Capitipu Fuzzy Bubbles, because imagine having to say that like 15 times today. A club? I told you already. I'm really not interested in joining any club. I haven't even been looking either. That's not true. You told me you wanted to join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did. In one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. Sayuri likes to worry a little too much about me, when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. This sounds like me in my teens, 20s. Just play games and watch. Well, I watched different types of anime. I was talking about I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. What's a NEET? Hang on. We're gonna need Google. Not in education, employment, or training. A person who is unemployed and not receiving an education or vocational training. Vocational training. Right. A need. So what did we learn today, guys? Raffle a bum, yeah, probably. You trust me, right? As far as I can throw you. Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright, alright. I'll look at a few clubs. It makes you happy. No promises though. You at least promise me you're trying. You'll try a little. Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. And this is how he... Hi, Tinus. I forgot how well your entry sounds fits this theme. This is how you get into trouble. You promise something on a whim, and then you expect them to do certain things. And then they expect you to do certain things. That's not healthy. You should check the... You should check the channel points rewards, Tinus. Freak as well, by the way. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl?
Well?
More than that, I'm surprised I'm even letting myself relent to her. I'm guessing seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind, at least a little bit. Even if she's exaggerating everything inside of her head. I mean, it's a good thing to try and eat, if they're your friend, you know, to try and ease them. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I knew it. I wish my school days were like that. Okay, have fun, freak. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. After I packed up my things, I stared blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess we're going to join the book club. There. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori. Jiro must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. Not unlikely. Also, yes, there are no cooldowns, Tinus. You use that knowledge carefully. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait for me. If it's going to make you late for your own club... Well, I thought you might need some encouragement. So I thought, you know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori. Yay! Yeah? That was a mistone. There's no way I'm going to your club. Oh, meanie. Sayori is the vice president of the Literature Club. Not that I ever aware that she had any interest in literature. I said it. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club. She inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring a new member. Oh god. Peer pressure. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Shiori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's cunning as to have planned all this out. You wanna bet that she is trying to get me to join the club the first time at the start of the year when I said, yeah, I'll join the club thing. Yeah, I skipped because I don't know how to say Hello, long sigh. That's not how you pronounce either. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes, let's go. She's excited. I do know, but imagine me going. It's actually a funny story. Talking about book clubs. If I read to our son, I actually skip things like bang and crack and the sounds that are written in the books in some cases, because getting into that mood of making a sound effect rather than just telling the story, it breaks the immersion for me. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Trying to literature. Literally. See, literally I don't have a problem with. It's literature that, like, the last part of the word is kind of like strawn out and I can't get it out. Automatopoeia. I think it's on an autonomapia, but I'm not sure. I know what you mean, though. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member's here. I told you don't call me the new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the Literature Club. It's a pleasure to meet you. I found out that if I don't actually try to read it from the screen literature, it works. If I literally try to read the word, I stumble. It's brilliant. Shiori always said nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Fuzzy. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. Words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Okay. What are you looking at? I should actually mention that all the characters in this game are 18 years and older, according to the page that showed when I started this game up. So I don't look like a creepy 43-year-old playing a visual novel. If you want to say something, say it. Sorry? Natsuki? The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She's also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. She says that I'm not nice, but she's just literally ignoring the book club friend that she has. Very, very, very nice. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature... Who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Oh well, it's nice to meet both of you. And sounds like you already know Monika. Is that right? That's right. Oh, you wanna bet your ass that I don't remember her and she remembers me and we are now in a bit of a problem because I don't remember from what? It's great to see you again, Fuzzy. Monika smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Oh good, I have a memory. Good. Monika was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful and athletic. Basically, completely out of my league. So having her smile to me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monika. Come sit down, Fuzzy. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me and Monika. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. And how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. And Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so there is one space next to Monika and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens a closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table with a tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Wow. Natsuki lifts a foil off the tray and reveals a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and the little pieces of chocolate are used to make ears. I should write that down, that's actually kind of cute. If I ever need to make cupcakes for a birthday or something. Yeah, it's definitely kawaii. So cute. I had no idea you were such a so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Let's hurry and take one. So Yuri grabs the first one, then Monika and I follow. Now I want cupcakes. This is not a good game. It's delicious. So Yuri talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get the icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. But why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything? I thought you technically did it. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you, you, dummy. Alright. I give up on Natsuki's logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table, carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before sitting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? That's true, actually. There's nothing... I'm not a big reader, but there's nothing nicer than to sit down with a nice cup of coffee or a nice cup of tea and then just read a bit. Even if it's just my art literature stuff. I guess. Okay. Ready? How's that, Raf? Dinus. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yari's just trying to impress you. That's not. Insulted, Yari looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be the pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yari faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of that question. Something tells me I should tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. By the end of the night, I can actually pronounce their names properly. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seems really happy here, so... Oh, that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start a club on your own? You could probably be board member of any major clubs. Weren't you the leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know... To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. It's sort of like how I had to prepare for this stream. I'd rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Like I did with this stream. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling the dream. Monica is a really great leader. I'm not. Yaori also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard starting a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort and start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature, or art, or music. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. I'm not gonna comment on that, but it makes school events, like the festival, that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must be working really hard justifying these three. Maybe that's why we're all so delighted by the idea of new member joining. Why they were all. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Fuzzy, what kind of thing do you like to read? Horror books. Well, considering how little I've read in the past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I muttered quietly to myself, half joking. We'll be right back. Short break, just 3 minutes. I'll still be around here. It's just that because we don't know what is recorded and what not, I want to make sure that we have a little bit of a break from the game, so the people that are having ads and don't have ads don't actually get stuck behind them and miss part of the story. So far this has been hilarious. Thanks everyone for showing up. I'm really happy with you guys here. Yeah, so I can clean my eyes and so I can take a deep breath. I'm surprised at how little choices we had so far yet. I was expecting for us to at least have like one or two, or you know, one or two things to pick from, but it didn't happen yet.
Ooh.
Ooh. By the way, the reason why there's no limit on the ooh is because I want to see if I still laugh about it after the whole evening. Ah, you're playing Construction Sim? Nice. I like Construction Sims. I'll be honest, visual novels are not my thing. I think in my entire life I maybe played 2 before this one. But at the same time, it's also specifically this one because of the history behind it and how many people are going crazy over it. It's one of the games that I really want to play. So while I was first a little bit against it when you guys were like, oh, you should stream it, I'm actually glad I did, because there's a big chance that if I didn't stream it, I would not play all the way through this. Let me stretch my legs a bit. There we go. It's not as good as a visual novel. Kev, if you have any funny visual novels, ones that would be equally hilarious to play as this, I'd be willing to look into it. But until then, let's finish this one first. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. And welcome back, everyone. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking, after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Oh, I know that part, Kev. Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. She likes Lord of the Rings. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. Or Wheel of Time. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in a world of books and not people. I just knew that you would react like that on Wheel of Time thing. I heard the TV series is really good, if you want to save some time reading. But you know, I like a lot of things. Isn't it Hungry Hungry Caterpillar? The one you mentioned, Linus, in English? I'm not sure. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Stephen King. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yeah. Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. Oh, there we go. Ah, I read a horror book once. It was awful. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yari might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yari.
You get nothing! Good day, sir!
For someone as gentle as you, I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. I wonder what she's been reading. Surreal horror is often very successful in changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over me for a split second. Never mind. Is she too shy to give her opinion on books or anything, or... That's right. You used to like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looks like you were working on a poem called... Don't say it out loud. She wants to look tough? Yeah. I think it's because she's the smallest, so she feels like she has to stand up for herself. And give it back. Fine, fine. And your cupcakes? And your poems? Oh wait. Your cupcakes? Your poems? Everything you do is just so cute as you are. So Yori what siddles? Siddles up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? And the Penguin Encyclopedia of Horror and Supernatural. That sounds interesting. Is genuine question, is that actually a thing? And if so, where can I buy it? Because that sounds amazing. The Penguin Encyclopedia of Horror and the Supernatural? No way. No way, no way, no way. Let me check that out. I want to see that. I can't believe I've never heard of this before. Edited by Jack Sullivan. Are we actually gonna learn about literature today? Just give me a second. This is interesting. we break this game for a brief introduction of the book called The Penguin Encyclopedia of Horror and Supernatural. From 1986, dude. That's an old book. 650 entries written by 65 contributors. Ramsey Campbell, Gary Wilson Crawford, John Crowley, Thomas M. Dish. I'm looking if I see names that I might have heard in... Colin Wilson sounds familiar. Sounds cool. That sounds cool. I'm definitely interested in that. We're learning about literature while playing this. I'm quite surprised. Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? Oh yeah, she was writing poems. Okay, back to the story. I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometimes? No. Natsuki averts her eyes. Thank you. I don't need that right now. My phone wanted to tell me that it has great features. I know, that's why I bought it. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience, Joey? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example to help Natsuki feel comfortable enough with sharing hers. Yeah, let's make everybody uncomfortable and not want to share their stories. There you go, see? I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to rate some of everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment, everybody feeling very uncomfortable with being outed as a writer. Okay. I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That's actually not a bad idea, because then you write a poem that is actually dedicated towards the goal of sharing it, and then it might be a little bit less awkward. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have our new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Fuzzy? And now I'm in and I can never get out. Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there is one problem. I don't know why they're blushing like that. It is a bit awkward. But I guess it's because they're all still a bit uncomfortable about the whole poem thing. I forgot that one was in there. What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining the club, I'm bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sorry, I may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made a decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lost my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... Fuzzy... Y'all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make it a clear-headed decision when it's like that? I'll reveal a little secret. I took a lot of sounds from an uwu soundboard, and this was one of them. And I really liked it, so I have no idea if there's a full song of it. I would love to find that out, but I didn't have time to do that yet. So if you do find it, just drop it in the Tunes Discord. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like that? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. It's a very TikTok-y song, yeah. One by one, the girl's eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Saori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came for cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the Literature Club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone, remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monica looks over to me once more. Fuzzy, I look forward to seeing you express yourself. Yeah? Can I really impress the class star Monica with a good mediocre writing skills? That's why I brought Chet in the mix. I already feel anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up the food. Hey Fuzz, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right. So Yuri and I never walk home together anymore, because she's always staying home for school for clubs. Fuzzy's good mediocre writing skills. This is not to pat myself on the back. I actually wrote a short story related to, well, it's a fanfic related to my World of Warcraft character for the guild I was in, and people loved that one. And I also worked on a zombie book, but yeah, I think mediocre is accurate there. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Is like, I've never been in a club in school. I have no idea if this is like normal, but isn't the club supposed to be like one time a week at the end of class or something? I didn't know that was every single day. Or is this just some sort of Japanese thing I'm not aware of? Perhaps I have a chance to grow closer to one of the girls. Bad idea. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of the circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. No, it won't. I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. You have clubs daily and circles every times a week, a few times a week. Cool. It's nice to have. I don't out people a lot, but it's nice to have you around, Combustor, because I do know that you know tons of stuff about Japanese culture, way more than I will ever know. So it's time to write a poem. Big words you think your favorite club members will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem most. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is gonna be a little bit more than just 5 decisions. Okay. I'm gonna have to... We're gonna do something creative here. So, I'm gonna start a poll. I'm gonna start a poll, and I'm gonna say A or B, and I'm gonna put the timer at 30. Can I put it? Wait, 1 minute? Can I put it lower? That would be nice. Nope, 1 minute it is. Okay, so it's A or B. The whatever you pick, it's gonna be the column that we're gonna pick. So it's gonna be either this side or this side. So either it's this side or this side. Oh wow, you found it?
Hello there.
Hey McFilton. We're just doing a quick poll for column A or column B. And then after this, I'm gonna have to do a quick change here. Just okay. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Right, 50-50, which means that I get to choose. Because I didn't actually vote. I'm gonna go with this one because headphones fits with this and nibble is a funny word. So, let's see if this works now. Okay, so now we have the 5 words that we have here. So A, B, C, D, E. The word which wins, and I think nibble is funny. The word that wins is the word that we're gonna put down. D. A, B, C, D. Nibble. Whoops. Did I click the wrong one? Did it say which one I picked? No. Alright. So we'll do another one. For this one. So remember, column A or column B. Let's see. Well, that was easy. I think we can easily say that this one is on A. B's are just upside down peas. Okay, we have column A. I think we have all votes in. So then we'll do this one. Oh wait, I can't do a poll while a poll is running. Takes a bit of getting used to. Hang on, I'll be right with you. This is going to take a while. I don't know how many there are. Right. So I like extraordinary. And I am the only one that likes extraordinary. Right, we're going for lust. Okay, let me just quickly set something up because I really need to make this easier. Then compile. Oh no, I just remembered what I have to do to set that up. No, it's easier to keep it this way for now. You can use channel points to keep on voting. So if everybody is against you, yes, you can completely destroy the vote. Right, we have another column to pick. Column. A, B. There you go.
Of course!
Of course we have another column. So far we have nibble, lust. I think I know why you guys want column A. Because you're going for answer E. I'm pretty sure of it. Meanwhile, let me check if I can really quickly set up a second poll button. Duplicate. Yes.
Hello?
Okay, so we have this. Okay, that should make a A-B. Right, we have A. Now, let's see if this works. So, I'm pretty sure I know which one you guys are gonna pick. No, the poll only supports 5 answers. So if we need to do 10 answers, we're gonna do A, B, and then 5, and then 5, depending on which one. Oh, determination is winning from sticky. Right, one more time. So, column A or column B? Column B. Okay, so from column B, which word is it gonna be? Joy, hurt, color, destiny, or hopeless? If this isn't creative writing, I don't know how you would do this normally. Oh, hurt and hopeless? Hurt? Hurt? Ooh woo. Hurt. Right. Hurt. Oh, we have 20 to go, I just noticed. It's only 15 more, guys. I only just noticed the number at the top. We can do it. We already done 5. At least I made a button so I don't have to type it in every single time. So we have column A, so that's charm, passion, hair, lollipop, or anger. I think anger will make Natsuki very much happy in the situation. Lollipop is winning right now. Lollipop. Okay. Next one. Column A or column B? I'm so happy I made that button. If I didn't know that it was 20 rows, I would have had to do this, type this in 20 times. No, I can't see who voted what. I can only see the amount of votes that have been sent in. Look at the chibis. Are they reacting to it? We're going for column A, by the way. So that's skipping, daydream, giggle, heartbeat, or lazy. £100 for the last one. Okay, so we're going for giggle. And you said look at the chibis when you click on it? Ah, funny. That's cool. I don't think I would have picked up on that if you wouldn't have told me. Column B. Which are warm fireflies, cheeks, cuvette, or imagination.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
So, warm firefly, cheek, Corvette, and imagination. By the way, those two really, really worked well together. Right now, imagination is winning. So I was. Oh wait, no. C1 cheeks. Right. Column A or column B. This reminds me of back in the Jackbox days, guys. This is great. I love this. If it's exactly 50-50, by the way, I'll pick the one that wins. So if it really works out 50-50, there's still one vote. So far, I haven't had to vote yet. So this is column B. We're going for desire, question, pleasure, papa, or broken. I can feel, if I open this up, I can feel which one it is. Oh wait, no. That's surprising. You guys went with the sensible one. Yep. Pleasure it is. So, column A, column B. I was expecting papa from you guys, yes. The moment I saw that word, I'm like, oh no, this is gonna go straight to hell. But you guys behaved. I'm pleasantly surprised. So, column B is... is uwu? No, column B is not uwu.
Uwu?
No, it's not. It's rainbow, shame, together, lipstick, or sugar.
Uwu?
For some reason, it can't stop being funny for me.
Uwu?
Uwu.
Uwu?
Uwu.
Uwu? Uwu?
You know the drill, guys. A or B? We're almost there. We're halfway. I'm sure this poem is gonna be absolutely blasting and absolutely amazing. Okay, column A. Frightening, inferno, fluffy, cage, or fireworks. Or ubu. Fluffy. Marshmallows.
Ooh woo.
Fluffy. Okay, column A or column B. We're over the hump now. I wonder how many times we need to do this. It's a 50-50 draw. 50-50 draw means we're going for column B. Oh wait, that was not a 50-50. Column B just won there in the end. Right. Wonderful. Suicide. Games, pleasure, or hope. You monsters.
Ooh woo.
Suicide. Of course it is. Okay, column A, column B.
Ooh woo. Ooh woo.
Column B. So that's sunny, sparkle, pain, climax, or friend. Yeah, I was expecting that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're an adult, yes. Oh, someone just... There's a battle going on between pain and climax. And climax won. Okay, column A, column B. There's gonna be a lot of out of context quotes that are gonna be very, very good for the channel. We're going for column B right now, which is sock, uncanny, shopping, wrath, and infallible. Why doesn't it surprise me that the first vote goes to wrath? Wrath is gonna be a part of the poems we're getting. Yeah, got him. Right. Wrath it is. So column A, column B. Only 6 more to go. It's not that bad. Column A, what did you guys see in column A? Extreme. Ah, relaxing bubble bath time. Super relaxing bubble bath time. Okay. I'm wondering, is this a hint? The bubbles? Captive. Excitement, bubbles, fun, or extreme. That one's really cursed. Bubbles it is. Right. Column A, column B. Can I somehow pop this out? That would be really nice. I think from the TikTok songs, that one is actually the least distorted. It's a 50-50 vote. Column B it is. So, adventure, time, a Valentine, philosophy, or breathe. I can't believe I'm still keeping mostly a straight face with all the ooh-woos going on.
Ooh-woo.
Ooh-woo. Never mind. That lasted only like 10 seconds. We have breathe. Column A, column B.
Ooh woo.
Ooh woo.
There's Doki Doki in column B. Then again, there's also Precious in column A. Right. Bounce, Bouncy, Kiss, Doki Doki, Ambient, or Email. Kiss and Wrath and B. No, the Precious. Ah, Kiss one out. Column A, column B. I mean, column B has both Graveyard and Awesome. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a nice one. But column A is Marriage and Disaster. Battle for the ages. Okay, column A, Marriage, Swimsuit, Spinning, Disaster, or Boop. I wonder how you can write a poem with boop as a serious word being part of the poem. I don't think we're very good poets. Well, we'll see. I wonder if there's some sort of like poem generator behind this that will actually make something out of this. Right. Column A, column B, only 2 more to go. Column B is Party, Starscape, Nightgown, Peaceful, Uncontrollable. I really want to play the song that Raffle shared now. So, Party, Starscape, Nightgown, Peaceful, and Uncontrollable. Of course, Nightgown. I like Peaceful after all this chaos. I wonder where the 4th character is of these chibi characters. Like, I believe her name is Monica. We have D, peaceful. And question 19. A or B? Luck pure, vitality bunny, silly variance, bliss, vibrant, atone, landscape. What's vitality? Did I say vitality? Flawless victory. Vitality. Okay, it's column A, so that's lucky, vitality, silly, bliss, or atone. Or oh. From Helltaker? Ooh woo. Do it. Let's see who's winning. Silly is winning. Okay, and the last one, column A or column B. I mean, column A has death, column B has rain cloud, and fantasy. But I bet you're picking A for skirt. Column A. Misfortune, death, sweet, skirt, or massacre. Skirt massacre. Sounds interesting.
Hello?
Ah, nice. Thanks, Combustor. I'll check the tunes that people are sharing right now after the stream. Massacre with 55 votes. Right. Let's see what kind of masterpiece came out of this.
Hello?
Hi again, Fuzzy. Glad to see you didn't run away from us. Nah, I wouldn't. This might be a little strange for me, but at least it keeps me my word. At least keep my word? Yeah, but at least I keep my word. Yeah. Well, I'm back in the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Fuzzy. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on. Like you deserved any slack. So you already told me you didn't even want to join the club this year. And last year too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see it to the end. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Mama. Natsuki finds herself stuck between Monica and manga. Manga is literature. What do I feel about that? I feel manga is certainly deserving of its attention, but I don't think it is exactly on the same par as literature. Then again, I feel that what is considered literature is not necessarily that high-strung either sometimes. So I guess it works. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Manga is not just Pokemon. I know! I read some Junji Ito. Don't worry, guys. Fuzzy always gives its his best as long as he is having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking and cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is a mess. It's distracting. You almost set your house on fire once. So, that's, You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Fuzzy can become good friends too. Sayori? Huh? So usually Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situations she puts me into. Oh, Yuri. Oh wait, hang on. I missed that one. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Shuri? Me? Not really. Oh, don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Shiori made it sound like a big deal, when it really isn't.
Ooh.
What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Again. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. So, any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal out of it, if you don't want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yari reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it, if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally... accidentally being so cute? She brought your book. I think it wasn't accidentally. I think it was on purpose. She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yari, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in... God, I need to stop clicking by accident. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case.
Well?
Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yari's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rammering about her in the closet. Let me guess, she's digging up her mangas? I hear Natsuki mutter an exasperating sigh? Exasperating sigh. There we go. I can read. From within the closet. She seems to be highly annoyed with something. I approach her in case she needs a hand. You looking for something in there? Freaking Monica. She never puts my stuff back in the right spot. What's the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where the other person stands. I think that's still mostly true everywhere, although I'm happy to see that it's a more acceptable thing these days. I actually was on the train recently, and I had a guy that is probably around my age, who was reading Death Note on the train, just out in the open, and I was like, that's cool. You know, it's nice to see that besides all the normal books and everybody being on their phone, there's just a dude reading Death Note. How did you know anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a... There's a lone volume of mangas amidst the stacks of various books on the side of one of the shelves. Curious, I pull it out of the stack. There it is. Natsuki snatches it out of my hands. She then turns it to a box of mangas and slips the volume right into the middle of the rest. Ah, much better. Seeing a book set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feel. I get closer to look at the box set she's admiring. Parfait Girls? That's a series I've never heard of in my entire life. That probably means it's either way out of my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do that through the glass on that door. She points at the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It was the tone in your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, Fuzzy. Considering this a lesson straight from the Literature Club, don't judge a book by its cover. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Parfait Girls from the box. I'm gonna show you exactly why. She shoved the book right in my face, in my hands. I stare at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful attire striking animated feminine poses. I imagine something like the likes of Sailor Moon now. It's exceedingly moo. Moo? Someone Google that one for me. Exceedingly moo. Moe? Slang. Japanese slang word. The long word refers to the feeling of strong affection, mainly towards characters. Oh, so he really likes it. It's pronounced ooh. I'm happy we have Google on our hands. Don't just stand there. Ooh. Natsuki grabs me by my arm and pulls me out of the closet. She then takes a seat against the wall beneath the windowsill. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. You can't read at the same time like that. Oh, we can't read at the same time. Why is that? I guess it's easier to be close together like this. Don't just say that. You make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scooches an inch away from me. Sorry? I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's a particularly bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space, while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder, much more eager to begin reading than I am. Whoa, how long has it been since I read the beginning? Huh? You didn't go back and flip through the older volumes every now and then? Commercial break, guys. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm gonna take a leak. Don't spam the oohs too much, okay? Alright, I'm back from the break. But we'll have to wait a little bit before everybody had their ads. So far, this game has not been terrifying, except for the implicit bit of romancing here and there. Is it implicit or implied? Implied. Thanks for sticking around, Raffle. I'm gonna keep the vote up, so if you do miss it, then you can always join in and follow how everything ends later. Right. That should be everybody back. We read this one. So I'm asking her if she ever read through the old novels. Not really. Maybe something after I've already finished the series? Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing really happened yet. So I can talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typical slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of these, since it's rare for the writing to be entertaining enough to make up for the lack of plot. So, what should I expect from this? Is there going to be a plot? Well, obviously. You think I would enjoy something that doesn't have a plot? I mean, well, I guess I know what you're saying. A lot of beginning is about simple things. Like there's a really funny chapter where they're obsessed with the guy at an ice cream shop. But that just helps to get to know the characters. And besides, it's still entertaining. But later on, there's all kinds of drama. Like when they get into all their backstories, and when some of the romance starts to happen. That's really what makes it good. There are so many touching parts. Oh, is that so? It sounds like you really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you. Hey, wait. What's that supposed to mean? Natsuki gives me a little shove. It just meant that I haven't yet seen you at your full power. Good save. This chapter seems like it's about baking. This is just a guess, but is there a lot of baking in the manga? Well... Natsuki pauses for a moment, as if she doesn't know what want to admit something. This is about baking, isn't it? I mean, parfait. Yeah. Why does that matter? It doesn't, I was just curious. Since you enjoy baking too, right? That's just a coincidence. I just happened to get into baking around the same time I got into this manga. She likes kneading dough. She makes cupcakes. I don't think you have to knead cupcake dough. At least... well, yeah, a little bit. Like I would ever get into anything because of a manga. I feel bad for anyone that's impressionable. Definitely not a coincidence. I guess that explains Natsuki's interest in baking. Still, after all hobbies, to pick up from a manga is definitely one of the better ones. Not to mention, she's really good at it. So who am I to judge? Reread on for a few more minutes. I finally finished a couple of chapters at this point. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It isn't. Even though you're watching me read? Well, I'm fine with that. If you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince any of my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. Know what I mean? You don't? That's not... Well, I wouldn't really like... I wouldn't really know. What do you mean? Don't you share your manga with your friends? Could you Could you not rub it in? Jeez. Sorry. I share my manga with my chat. Like I could ever get friends to read this. I just think manga is for kids. I couldn't even bring it up without them being all like, you still haven't grown out of that yet? Makes me want to punch them in the face. I know those kind of people. Honestly, it takes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser. So I guess I gravitate towards the other losers over time. It's probably harder for someone like you. Oh, this is not gonna end well. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Oh, she agrees. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't even know what my dad would do if he found this. At least it's safe here in the club room. Except Monica was kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it. Well, it's not like that solves any of my problems. Maybe. But at least you enjoyed yourself, right? So? Haha. Jeez, that's enough. Are you gonna keep reading, or what? Yeah. I flip the pages. Suddenly, Natsuki starts laughing. I'm not doing that laugh. I totally forgot that happens. Natsuki puts her finger on one of the panels. Minori is my favorite character. You always feel a little bad for her, since she's so unlucky. But it gets especially bad when... shouldn't be talking about that yet. Just finish this chapter. Natsuki's voice sparkles with excitement. It's a stark contrast to her usual bossy tone. But if she's not used to sharing her favorite manga with her friends, I can understand why. It's hard to express in words the feeling you get when connecting with someone that likes like that. And being able to provide that to Natsuki, for whom it's a rare experience, the thought makes me smile a little to myself. Ah, heartwarming. Okay, everyone. Are you ready with today's poems? Oh great, now we get the poem part. Oh, come on. Could your timing be any worse? Sorry. I just need to make sure we have enough time. I thought you two looked pretty cozy over there. Ah? Natsuki suddenly notices how close she's gotten to me. She hastily slides herself a good 12 inches away from me. Alright. Guess I'll stop here for now. close the book and hand it toward Natsuki. You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens? Yeah, but Monika just said, don't be dumb. Just take it home with you. Huh? Is that really alright? I said it mostly because I really don't plan on using my spare time to read this. Well, of course. It would take forever to finish if you don't take it home. Just finish that one before tomorrow so we can start the next one. And if it gets bent, I'll kill you. By tomorrow. I only got partway through the volume so far. I might fall behind on some shows if I try to get through this. But I suppose that's a necessary sacrifice in exchange for seeing Natsuki's enthusiastic face. So we go from not wanting to join the club into being completely absorbed by it because we want to make these people happy. Or am I more scared of what will happen if I don't finish it? Alright then. I stand up. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the book into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yes, me and everybody in chat. Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't we find someone to share with? I can't wait. So Yuri and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Do you think? So Yuri's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaves torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monika pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Okay, guys. This is a quick 4 people poll. So this is from top to bottom, A, B, C, D. Who are we going to annoy first with our poem? So Yuri, Natsuki, Yuri or Monika? No. It's either Natsuki or Monika now. I mean, we had a manga moment with her, so maybe it's good to keep that going. We know at least we have something in common, so maybe she'll appreciate our poem a little bit better. Monika's the end boss, okay. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poem yesterday. Oh, that's true, yeah, she also brought the poem yesterday. That's how this all started. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. No? Okay, well, let's start with the thing I don't like. The things I don't like. First of all, Natsuki rereads my poem. Never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion. Then what's the point of sharing in the first place? I wrote this when I could have been doing other things. In fact, remember how I said I wanted to read your poems? That's what I had in mind when writing this. Oh, is that so? I want to help you feel comfortable enough to share yours. Like Monika said. Ugh. Well, I would be more comfortable sharing my poem if yours was really bad. Oh, apparently we did a good job then. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem and make me go, ah, well, it's not that great, but let me show you what real literature looks like. And you went and ruined it. I hope you're happy. So in other words, you're saying you liked it? Ugh. Natsuki's retort gets caught in her throat. Oh, you're so... You don't understand anything, do you? I already told you that. You don't have to go announcing it to the world like you're all self-important. Pretty sure you never actually said that. Say that mostly to myself. Natsuki must be really hating me or something. Can't figure out if it's a win or a loss that she liked my poem. In any case, you still need to show me yours, right? Ah, great, fine, I guess. Only because Monica makes me do it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Okay. I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? I'll be honest. Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you get things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up a rhythm at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest. Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with the last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Well, at least we made her happy then. Okay, so next one. You guys had Monica is second most voted, so we'll go for her. Hey Fuzzy. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good, glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Hahaha. Don't worry, Fuzzy. We're all a little bit embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we all learn to pass soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, Fuzzy. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Yes, definitely cuter than with the words we picked. Oh, jeez. No. It kind of makes me think of something Natsuki would write. She's a good writer too. So, take that as a compliment. If you say so. Yep. There are a lot of poems and stories out there that are no more than a few simple words. They can be funny, endearing, or even sad. And sometimes they're only a few lines long. They might even feel like they're written for kids. But if you think about them, you can express views of the world that would apply to anybody. I see. So you're saying that Natsuki is kind of like that? Sort of. Maybe she's not an expert. But you probably won't find much filler in her poems. They might be easy to write, but they're super challenging to get the meaning through. So I can see why it would be your kind of poem to explore. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. But that's okay. I'd love to see you try more new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of style. But I'll always help you find what suits you most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. I sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, it's because I haven't to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See, the direction the speckle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend, I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas. Already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretched forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Sounds very Cthulhu-esque. So what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, but I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway. Here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on the specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way of thinking about this is, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just make a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Who should we do next? Right, I'll just put an AB in there. So it's either Soria or Yuri. It doesn't really matter much, I think, because I think we're gonna do all of them. But just in case the game goes like, no, you can only do 3, we're gonna give you guys the ability to vote. This is where it comes in that I have no idea if this game allows you to do all of them. 50-50 split. Okay. We'll go with Yuri, because Sayora knows us from our childhood, and Yuri gave us a book, so... Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. Happens sometimes. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time reading a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I'm guessing that it might be after reading the poem through it. Reading through it. Oh, so it's that bad? No. Did you just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Harry buried her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Joey a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right. It's just that there's a specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in the new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yaoi finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering's completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Bias? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yaoi is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if you read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yaoi smiles dreamily, as if there's a rare opportunity for her. Which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under a light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe, calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. Oh god. I'm sorry. I have such terrible handwriting. What? I was thinking that all... I wasn't thinking that at all. But you took so long... It took a long time to read. Yes, because I'm dyslexic. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. We're gonna end up with poems that are 3 pages long at the end of the game. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Uh-huh. Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Fuzzy. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and expression in their work. They usually do more than tell simple stories and paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her past remaining place of comfort, unable to get out of the past. And soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of it that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on one of those things too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Okay, so we do get all 4 of them. This is a good poem, Fuzzy. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? Guess you're right. But that's why it's impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the clubhouse. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but it doesn't mean that I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Fuzzy. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Shiori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That would be my way of thanking you. Alright. I'm going to hold you to that then. Hey! Now, you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed makes me rub the sleep from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away the rainy day? I'll look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I've got to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put this? It sounds like you... It sounds like you. Really? Yeah. Especially the last line. I made eggs on toast. Even though you were late for school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica, the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget. I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I'll look forward to that. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone was judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yari and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Oh, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? What do you mean? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out that nice at all. Well, do I have to I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I was asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. Fuzzy did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I came across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. Oh, these two are just basically gonna be like, no, it needs to be my writing. And Fuzzy liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Uh-oh. This game is supposedly 4.5 hours long, by the way, Tinus. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our newest member, Yori. That's not what I... You're just... Yari stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Fuzzy appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? That's how you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? And how do you know that... Blah, blah, blah? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way and make something I do overly cutesy. Ooh. Is everything okay here? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew in size as soon as Fuzzy started growing up. Natsuki. Natsuki, that's a little... doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly both girls turn towards me. As if they just noticed I was standing there. Fuzzy, she's trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain it to her, Fuzzy. Wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings of most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Fuzzy? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing, but whomever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course that's going to be... Oh wait, it's a triple vote. Hang on. We'll do 2 rows. So this is Natsuki and Yuri. We'll do one more. This is Natsuki and Sayori. Still Natsuki. So we're going for simple poem rather than complex poem. Or just asking someone else's help outright. Simple minds?
Well?
Right. Oh, it's a 50-50 vote. Oh, so it's either Natsuki or Help Me Sayori. I'm gonna go for Help Me Sayori, because I don't think either of them is necessarily right. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead, I turn to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. So Yuri... yeah? Everyone's fighting to make Sayori uncomfortable. Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. You'll watch the vote tomorrow. To be fair, I'm probably gonna go and continue for about 15 more minutes, like up until 10:30. And then we'll pick up the rest tomorrow, since we don't have a stream on Wednesday.
You're all going to die down here.
How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Fuzzy. Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. That's unfortunate for others to reject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. This is your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why. Exactly why nobody likes... Stop. Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want someone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yaoi's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Natsuki's cute, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yaoi's boobs are the same as they've always been. Big and beautiful. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yari rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So, this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, but I can recognize things. But I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, it's kind of embarrassing for me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing on her own ways, isn't she? Could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care, okay guys? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. Yeah, that makes the two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, because my stomach is causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really makes you a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get a chance to talk to her a little more. Okay everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How do we all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Fuzzy, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe we'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kind of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Fuzzy? Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It really has been a while since Sayori and I spent so much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yari and Satsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I could see why they'd make good friends with you. Oh. You know, Fuzzy, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Okay. We'll just have to see where the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Let's do this. So, we're probably gonna get onto part 2 of actually doing the poem thing. What I'm gonna do instead though is I'm gonna save here, and we're gonna just save this up for tomorrow so we can continue onward from here. I have the feeling we're at a nice halfway mark. There we go. All saved and nice. So yeah, I have the feeling we're at a nice halfway point for the game. Since the game is around 4.5 hours, we've now been playing for 2 hours 15 minutes or so. What I would love to do is I would love to pick this up tomorrow. As I said, there's no stream on Wednesday because Wednesday is Valentine's Day, which I will be spending with the missus. But yeah, I won't be here on Wednesday. More about a quarter? We're only a quarter in? Oh, that means that we might actually have to do some extra streaming to fully finish this. Well, we will. That's not a problem. We can either continue it on Discord or we can put some extra Mondays or Fridays into it. Only a quarter? Really? Most people don't spend 45 minutes doing the poem. Yeah, well, I wanted to make it fun for everyone. I'm also not most people. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's a bit different. Maybe it's for Doki Doki Literature Club, it's even a bit different for most people. I don't know. I've never played it. I've never seen it before. But yeah, this will be it for tonight. I'm gonna see if we can rate someone who is doing something fun. You will miss the reaction faces. Oh, is that because of you being unable to join us tomorrow? I'm gonna drop you guys off at Nighty Nader, who is playing some Lethal Company, by the way. That's okay, Combustor. I mean, it will be recorded, so the VODs will be available. I will also be uploading this to YouTube for those who are interested, because I want to make sure that there's some more stuff to see and for people to look. Thank you all for just hanging out here today. I really do appreciate you coming up and joining us here today. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow when we continue this run. Maybe we will do a little bit of creative stuff with the poems to make things work a little bit better and a bit faster. We'll see about that. Thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.